Today's video is brought to you by Grey Viking Games. Click the link in the description below to buy MTG Arena codes for cosmetics, packs, and more. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic, and we are diving into a Simic Turns deck here, and super excited. We have another extra turn spell coming in with the new set, Strixhaven, which is changing Historic completely. Like as soon as all of the new stuff comes out with Strixhaven and the Mystical Archives, we're going to have just a ridiculous amount of good cards coming into the format, and one of them will be extra turn spell. I can't remember the name of it. Extra turn spell in the 5-drop slot. That's just 5 mana. I take an extra turn after this one, which, you know, the other ones being 7 mana, 6 mana, you know, all these different things that cost quite a bit to be able to take extra turns. Just having it be at 5, turn 5 is a pretty big deal, which means you can ramp to it a lot easier and just start taking extra turns, and we'll have a critical mass of a bunch of extra turn spells. And so I'm trying to build this deck to basically play without the 5 mana spell, but adding that in here would be super fun. I do have 62 cards in the deck just because there's a bunch of fun stuff I wanted to try to add into the synergies here to make them work. I do have 27 lands still, so 62 cards I feel like we'll still be able to make work, but yeah, we're going to try this one out basically. So we have Karn's Temporal Sundering as the 6 mana take an extra turn spell for us. You have to have a legendary creature or planeswalker on the battlefield. So we have Fibblethrips, and then we have like a bunch of planeswalkers that are hopefully easy to keep on the battlefield, as well as Coma, to then let us actually cast Karn's Temporal Sundering. We have Alrund's Epiphany as well, which is of course just a great one. Puts flyers out into the battlefield, so we can actually end up closing out the game with this one. And then our main finishers are Nissa and Coma in this deck, with Teferi, Master of Time, hopefully with enough turns, if we can take enough extra turns on our own turn, that we can just kind of keep ticking this up, get to the ultimate ability to take 2 extra turns. We also got Time Stream Navigator, so 2 mana 1/1 with Ascend. I can pay for and tap it to put it on the bottom of its owner's library. Take a turn after this one. You can only activate it if you have the City's Blessing, which means that the Ascend side of this, if you have 10 permanents, then you get the City's Blessing token. So we have to get 10 permanents, which means we're not going to be able to do this on turn 4, most likely. We're going to have to do it later on. Which means that we have to have a few ways to make sure we're either ramping up to our bigger spells, controlling the board, and doing everything else we need to. And so with that, Fibblethip, it's a legendary creature for us that we get to put out into the battlefield. Lets us draw cards. Also just a good blocker in the early game. Time Stream Navigator is kind of an awkward thing to play on turn 1. We're okay with this going to the graveyard though, because we do have Tamiyo to bring it back. The main reason that I like Time Stream Navigator is that we can, in the late game, kind of go ultimate with this. If we have no cards left in our library, this goes to the bottom of our library, and with 2 of these you can cycle them over and over and over again to keep drawing the same exact ones, and eventually hopefully have enough damage with Coma or Nissa in case someone went like ultimate, like infinite with life. We can technically go infinite with, you know, Time Stream Navigators, keep making stuff and keep hitting in for damage, that kind of thing. And so anyway, then we of course have Haze of Pollen as well, to be able to prevent combat damage, to kind of just protect ourselves in the early game. It's a 2 mana, you know, if someone comboed off, went crazy with goblins right away, we can stop that real quick. Then hopefully Whelming Wave on the next turn, where we can return all creatures to their owner's hand except for Krakens, Leviathans, Octopants, and Serpents. Guess what we have that are Serpents? The Coma and the Serpent's Coils are also Serpents. And so pretty sweet stuff there. That's basically the main game plan, is with Whelming Wave, Comas, we can finish out the game. We need some early game ramps. We have Growth Spiral, also just lets us hold up some extra mana if we're going to hold up Sot Coming, Haze of Pollen, Growth Spirals, all there. Kiora, we only have 2 creatures that will actually enter the battlefield and draw us the card, which is the 2 copies of Coma, but it untaps land for us, and it gives us a legendary permanent, legendary planeswalker on the battlefield that will let us cast Karn's Temporal Sundering and ramps us up because it untaps land. So good stuff overall, pretty decent stuff there. And then of course we have Nissa to help us have extra ramp to be able to get to where we can be casting multiple things on a turn, you know, like a Growth Spiral and like a spell, because what we're wanting to do with this deck is just take as many extra turns in a row as possible. And we do need extra mana to make that really work well, because we're going to want to be drawing cards, you know, playing Fibblethrips, or doing whatever we can to make sure that we can keep finding more of the extra turn spells. And Nissa just lets us do that. Basically, gives us enough mana that we can do a bunch of different things with it. And so that's what we're going to do. I just realized we want to add in 1 Arch of Araska into this deck as well. So 1 Arch of Araska. come into the deck here, and we'll drop out one green source there. All right, so that's the deck. Let's go and jump to the gameplay, see how it does for us, and wish me luck. Here we go. All right, up against a Lurrus deck, we have 0 interaction, but Growth Spiral is in the hand. On the draw, if we have like Haze Pollen or Whelming Wave that we run into, if it's the Aura's deck, can be pretty nice. I think I'd rather keep Ramp, just a little bit of Ramp, and Tamiyo can also let us go dig for the thing that we need, like a Whelming Wave, which it is the Aura's deck, which means a little bit terrifying. We're going to try this one out. Is Philip better to go out as a blocker, or is it better to Growth Spiral and start ramping? I'm not totally sure. There's a Spirit Dancer. Ah, okay then. Well, we have more lands. Tamiyo can go out and start digging for us on the next turn. Let's go ahead and chump block one turn. Try for that. Philip, draw a card. Haze Pollen. All right, so we can start holding that up if we're going to die. Growth Spiral. Good stuff. And we can Tamiyo to bring back Haze Pollen to let us go an extra turn. So yeah, now we want to ramp. All right, opponent, what you got? Sentinel's Eyes, okay. Please don't give it flying. Okay, no flying. Good shape so far. I think they're debating if they wanted to like tap down the Fibblethip or something. All right, well, we may need to Haze Pollen. We'll see. Which means that I'm not going to throw out the Breeding Pool just yet, because we might actually want to shock that in with the Growth Spiral. So, pass the turn. It would have been really nice to be able to foretell one of these Epiphanies. I could have done it on this turn if I didn't feel like we might also be dead soon, so... we can take... I believe we can take that much. Which means I should have foretold. Okay, Growth Spiral. Do I want to Haze Pollen? Typically you want to do that when it's keeping you alive, right? I'm not sure if they're going to have like Spell Pierce or something though, which I guess then it's better to wait until I have extra mana up. Although I do want to foretell so I can get to the Epiphany on the next turn. All right, so down to 8. Lurrus. Pass to my turn. Karn's Temporal Sundering. All right, so... one of these are going to have to come in untapped to be able to play Alrund's Epiphany. So let's bring this out tapped. Foretell. Pass the turn. Haze of Pollen. Alrund's Epiphany. Hopefully hit a land so then I can Alrund's Epiphany again. Have a couple of good blockers. Okay, Selfless Savior. Hushbringer. Okay, prevent all combat damage. Which means they don't get the counter from Curious Obsession. Probably should have played it first just to see if they would have not played it out, actually. Well, we have to draw. We have to take an extra turn now. All right, so shock ourselves. We do have a blocker, although All Seed Light's Bounty can stop that from happening. We needed an untapped land here. Come on, give us untapped land. We also can Tamiyo grab Haze Pollen. All right, that'll work. We'll still be able to do that. So Tamiyo. Yes. Yes. Sweet. Yeah, Tamiyo, go grab Haze Pollen. We hit the land there, so then we can play the Alrund's Epiphany or the Temporal Sundering on the next turn after the Haze Pollen, and then we just start taking a bunch of extra turns. Yes! Oh, it's so mean. I love it. Up against Xandarin, and we're on the draw with not a very good hand. Kira can ramp us up into Tameo, but let's mulligan this hand away. The Time Stream Navigator is our worst 2-drop. Mulligan? We really don't want to be mulliganing too many times if we can avoid it. Mulligan again. That's a better hand. All right, drop Alrund's Epiphany, drop Arch of Orazca. We need the lands to get to the Nissa. Fibblethip helps us do that. Cycling could also be decent if we end up being up against a good control deck. Let's try 2-land hand. Sure. This will at least get an extra turn, which could let us draw into lands as well. So I think this is just versatile enough to not keep the land. I don't know how that works. Whatever. Well, we found a land. Now we need to find another green source. Hazel Pollen is pretty good against elves if they're going on the Crater Hoof plan, but we need to find the Whelming Wave. Your turn, sir. You can do it. I believe in you. People are asking about where you get this bug. This actually comes from mobile, I believe. I think that you have to have mobile to be able to get that. All right, well, we have... Ooh, ramp. Without the guarantee of another land right now, though. Let's go Growth Spiral main phase. Oh, yeah. All right, pass the turn. Now I'm not sure if I actually want to play out Fibblethip if I can counter something and hold up Hazel Pollen at the same time. Or if a Branch Walker. Ooh, this is just like green aggro. Cool. I mean, terrifying, but cool. Chump. Foretell. Yeah, I'd rather try to get to the Nissa. So Chump and Foretell, so then we can untap the breeding pool to hold up Sot Coming or Hazel Pollen with Nissa. And they have their own Nissa. Maybe I should have just saw it coming. I was thinking that I'd rather just block damage than deal with whatever might be coming, but perhaps I was wrong. All right, we can take 8. I can kill a Merfolk Branchwalker. We can play our own Nissa, Hazel Pollen. They swing it with a bunch. Is it worthwhile to actually kill something or just not take as much damage here? All right, take 5 down to 9. Pelt Collector. Time Navigator. Nissa. Swing our breeding pool at Nissa.
The land fights for us.
Pass the turn. And we're really just hoping for an extra turn spell of some sort. Time Stream Navigator can come out. I think we're a ways away from the City's Blessing still, though. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need lands. Yep. Whelming Wave off the top would be awesome. that'd be great. It does bounce back our breeding pool, but in some ways that can be good for us. We can tap it and then use it.
Rise, my elemental friend.
Everything's going at Nissa. How badly do I need Nissa alive? Yeah, let's just Hazel Pollen. All right, no damage. Light Ferox. Alright, no non-creature spells anymore. Oh yeah. Oh, that's good stuff. Alright, yep, so tap here. Let's go Whelming Wave. Oh, what a turn. Yes, you can bounce your lands back. Take that, my friend. Do I want to shock myself? What else could I get for it? Thank you. Thank you very much. That was indeed awesome. I can play this tapped. Yeah, I can play it tapped and then untap it, attack in at Nissa.
How rude.
Time Stream Navigator. Pass the turn. All right. I feel like we're in decent shape now. Okie dokie then. I don't think they have anything with haste. We have saw it coming to counter. Do I want to counter this? Yes, because it means that we can get in at Nissa and kill it, right? Yeah, so we do that. They play out Forest, they untap and activate this. Oh wait, it's up at 5. I was thinking it was at 4. Darn it. Might be a little bit further away than I was hoping. Do they have like a ram through or some sort of thing? Alright, extra turn spell, please. Love Shark Beasts. Well, there you go. This also gets us more permanence, which is nice. Gets us closer to the Time Stream Navigator. Ultimating Nissa next turn guarantees it. So we have an extra turn after this one as well. So no attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so Tameo. Untap.
For my study.
Let's just go Island again.
The land shall conquer you.
Activate Time Stream Navigator. Take an extra turn. Then we return Alrund's Epiphany back to hand. Oh wait, what is it? Oh, Alrund's Epiphany. We didn't cast that. Whelming Wave. Whelming Wave, I think, hurts us more now. So first off, let's just attack in at Nissa. So we're taking an extra turn here. Would I rather hit? Sorry, man. I know this is just me now. Let's go ahead and bring back maybe Growth Spiral back to hand. Let's go Hazel Pollen. How about that? It's just a good card in general here. So, land, ultimate. We actually don't have that many forests in this, do we? All right. Well, we at least have a few. Now everything has enough. Let's check up for Karn's Temporal Sundering. There we go, we got one. All right, sweet. All right, so 1, 2, 3 at Nissa, 1, 2 here at face. Yes. And we have the Coma to grab back from the graveyard now. We're going to tick up with Tammy one more time. Hopefully find another extra turn spell. I might actually just cycle the Hazel Pollen as well. We'll see. Alright, Karn Temporal Sundering. We will take the extra turn. Wait, cancel. What does all this say? I didn't read all the rest of it. Return up to one non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Alright. So target player takes an extra turn after this one. Bounce this back. This deck is good. This deck is great. Let's cycle first. More lands. Tick up. Forest. Swing in with everything. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this deck is good. It definitely requires you having the early game turn, early cards, but man, once it starts going off, this is just insane. All right, so we could bring back Coma and just play Coma if we wanted to. I think opponent's gonna time us out. All right, down to 4. I don't know what they have to activate. They must have something. Look up for now it's Alrund's Epiphany because there's more of those in the deck than the other one. All right, well, we didn't find it. They get an extra turn. All of our lands are indestructible by this point, though. We have plenty of lands out there. They can rebuild a little bit. Bloodstruck Beast. Yep. Branch Walker, and then they scoop. All right, they probably just wanted to get those extra spells in for the stuff, for the quests. All right, that, man, it feels really mean, but that is really fun. Up against Alphagasta, and yeah, we got a mulligan this one. If this was an untapped land, I might be tempted to try it with Growth Spiral, but we also need something in the 3-drop slot, whatever else. So this is one of the biggest issues of this deck, is that we are going to have hands like this because we are running so many really expensive spells. We could probably just play full on ramp and just hope that once we start hitting our extra turn spells that we are just not going to let them ever play, basically. And so you could play this in a couple different ways. You could play it where it's all in on the ramp side of things. You could play it where you have, you know, even more control and no ramp. I'm not sure the right place between, you know, because I think you could also just play all fogs, and that can end up being pretty good as well. And just hopefully you're drawing into your lands and stuff. I'm thinking what we have right now is a decent in between. Teferi on turn. This is way too slow as well. Do I want to mulligan down to 5? We have 3 lands. I want to go and try it. If we find any ramp, we have Nissa pretty early. Teferi is at least a good way to slow things down a little bit. I don't know. This is the biggest issue of this deck, is whenever we draw hands like this. And we're on the draw, which means that they will probably combo off by turn 4, and we're screwed. It sounds great. There could be reasons to be jumping into Bant with this for a bit more removal, better spells. All right, there we go. Growth Spiral, very nice. Now we have ramp. Now all these things come quicker if I find lands. Man, the opponent's taking a long time to decide if they want to play another land or not. Oh. They decided, okay, let's do what my deck does and draw lands and things. They are playing blue, so I'm going to go and Growth Spiral before they have a chance to do something else here. This one just says put land from hand to the battlefield, so I believe that the pathways will only choose the front side. I haven't actually tested it out yet. I think when you have to play it to be able to get the choice there. And I do want typically more blue than green. All right, do I want to go for Teferi or try for the Growth Spiral? Let's try Teferi. Getting this to start ticking up earlier than later is pretty decent. There's the Tameo to help us find stuff. So Coma to the graveyard. Hopefully we've hit the land, so then we can get Nissa. I was hoping we'd hit land with that. We did not. All right, well, draw another land. Or not a land. Well, it is a land. To the bottom. To the graveyard. All right, Teferi dies. We pay 3. We Nissa. We untap Breeding Pool. If I find another Breeding Pool, I could also play out Time Stream Navigator. Do I think that's going to be worthwhile? If they play their own Nissa, which Sultai, they probably will. We're going to go for it still. All right. I could probably also make this deck go more towards Sultai. Binding of the Gods would be a really good turn 4 play for us. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of different ways to go about making this deck. I like what we got. It's cheesy. It's fun stuff. That's what I care about. Cheesy, fun, good stuff. Okay, Tamio. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 mana. I can bring Coma back to hand. It can't be countered. We have the mana to play on the next turn. Let's just Coma. It's going to be harder for them to deal with than some of the other things. Time Stream Navigator. Not quite to the Ascend yet. Swing in. Down to 11. We have a lot of things for them to deal with here. They probably can do it, potentially. But still, a lot of things for them to deal with. Teamers with 4 color. So, is this Ultimatum? Is this an Ultimatum deck in Historic? That's terrifying. If they have land here, they have the mana to do it. They have to have a green or blue source. Henny's Expertise. Ouch. So I can't bring lands back just yet. So 1, 2, untap. There's the 4 for Coma. Let's go for Coma. This means that we're putting all of our green mana on the line, though, which is a little bit terrifying if they have another board wipe. Extinction Event would be awful. All right, let's look for. Well, we can't hit lands now. Maybe it's just like Fibblethip or Teferi. Extra turn spells are a little bit too expensive unless we find other stuff. Let's stick for Fibblethip. As weird as it is. Well, all lands, great stuff. Should have just left it all on top. Or probably should have played Growth Spiral first. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We have Coma, so we're good. If they're playing 1 Yahenni's Expertise, they're probably playing more. They might be running like Shadow's Verdict. I don't even know what they're playing. Who knows? I don't. Ultimatum can be kind of interesting here. If they play out a Tybalt first, we can actually tap it down before it has a chance to respond, because they cast 2 spells. It'll end up resolving and hitting the battlefield. But if they stack it to where it comes out second, we wouldn't be able to deal with it as well. So there is the Emergent Ultimatum. Okay, so what are they going to go grab? They're obviously running Tybalt in here. They're going to be running Yahenni's Expertise, Shadow's Verdict, probably still, because it's just good. Probably just a bunch of 1-ofs on a lot of things. I'm okay with Plain White Celebration. I'm okay with Liliana, but Liliana with Plain White Celebration is terrifying. Okay, so don't do that one. So Plain White Celebration and Alrund's Epiphany. If I give them the Liliana, so they actually have to put Liliana out first. So let's do this. So I believe that I have the ability to hold full control here. So Liliana should hit the battlefield. So resolve. Now we sacrifice.
My army will envelop this world.
All right, take out full control. All right, now you can proliferate a bunch of times. Do it. Go for it. Oh man, it's all the way. Oh, man, if only that had worked better for you, you know? Oh, drats. Oh dang! I meant to be able to kill this. Dang it! I went to combat too soon. Darn it! All right, well, let's do this. Let's go there. Go there. Stop the upkeep. I messed up. I had the chance for lethal. Oops.
So that's how it is.
Well, drats. Is there a way to take an extra turn right now? 1, 2. I can't untap it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we do. All right, so we'll just do that. Okay, Alron's Epiphany.
I have learned much from my ancestors.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
And then we get a swing in for the win. All right. All right, well, I should have done it again too. We're just doing it. Okay, we're finishing out this game. Ooh, yeah. Alrighty, well, that was a close one, but it worked, and we're not going to question it. That's what I was saying though, is that we can use Coma in response to them grabbing a Planeswalker, and that actually worked out perfectly. Very, very good. All right, up against K-Pax, man, Cura would be fast enough if we're on the play. On the draw, it's a little bit slow, but we do have a 4-drop right afterwards, so we're gonna go ahead and try this one out. We're gonna see if it can work. We do get to foretell, Cura, get 4 mana, so we do get up to 6 mana quicker, and then getting to Coma is pretty nice. Ooh, goblins. All right, Whelming Wave, here we go. All right, Growth Spiral. Well, we at least have been consistent at drawing those. Pass the turn. Yeah, we actually have been really lucky. We've kept, I think, 3 different hands where it wasn't in hand that we've drawn it right afterwards. On the draw against goblins, we're going to be really struggling here. We get to potentially get to Tameo. I'm just doing this main phase. Probably shouldn't have. Oh well. We get to play out Tameo to dig for a Whelming Wave. Krenko off the top. Yes, they're playing Krenko. Awesome. Need ways to give it haste, but that's just, this is my favorite card of all time still. I love this card. There's no real reason to love it, but oh boy do I. Tameo. Depending on what else we mill over, they might just have to kill Tameo anyway, which does keep our life total a little bit higher, which means we can potentially still ramp and get up to Alrend or Coma. So, Whelming. No! Teferi was the other one that could have been decent. Oh! Haze of Pollen also is another thing. I think we only have 2 copies of it though, and we have 3 copies of Whelming Wave. 3 or 4. Krenko Mob Boss. At least they don't have haste. Saying the same thing again. Alright, well, Tameo's not dead. So you're saying there's a chance?
Subject is easily agitated.
Okay then. We're getting closer to that Coma. Well, Whelming Wave.
To the library.
No. No, 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 no. Not like this. Alright, Kiora. We need Kiora to stay alive too, if possible. They have Castle Embereth. They get a bunch of goblins, but they don't have a way to give them haste just yet. Do I want to throw out Time Stream Navigator as a blocker? And do I want to shock myself to do it, or do I want to untap here? 6. think it's better to try to keep Kiora alive. It's our best chance of getting to an epiphany into a coma, which that's good stuff. That might just be enough. Oh, Gemfall Incinerator off the top. Does it hit just creature? All right, well, they still don't have haste. They didn't activate the Embereth, so I don't think they have the ability to kill both of them. That's not true. They probably do. Teferi off the top could be somewhat decent. Yeah, because this gets up to 3. Yeah, okay, they're gonna have so many goblins. So, oh, and a chieftain off the top, and Skirk Prospector. Okay, that's game. Yeah. All right. Good game, sir. You have it all. We won't force you to do everything there. Yeah, you had it. Bummer. We dug like 10 cards deep to find a Whelming Wave and just didn't find it. Watch it be like the next card off the top. No. All right, up against Fredek, and we'll keep this hand. This is actually a little bit awkward with Growth Spirals. We can't play out the Seagate Restoration with Growth Spirals because it doesn't count as a land in hand. So we'll still use it, but we're gonna have to play this out, and we're gonna have to shock ourselves to be able to play out the Growth Spiral effectively. Yep, not a green source. Play this tap. All right, more Gabos. At least it's somewhat slower than other things. Shock this in, pass the turn, make them think that we have a counter spell. You fear me, you. Wily again. Well, is the Muxus a coming next turn? It's a very good possibility. Rose Spiral. Philithip at least lets us block. Is that better than... Yeah, we'll see how bad it gets, then we can actually know what we're going to use with Teferi. I'd rather keep trying to ramp, so... Yeah, we'll go Philithip. Hopefully no Muxus. Pass the turn. All of the manas. War Chief. Not a Muxus. Not a Muxus indeed. Still really close to the mana fort though. Okay, Growth Spiral. Karn Temporal Sundering off the top gets us an extra turn spell. Otherwise, Foretell, yeah, okay. Foretell and Teferi. Draw a card. We'll get rid of the Time Stream Navigator.
I'll think of something.
Ah, just kidding. Kiora is pretty useless at this point, right? Okay. All right. Do I want to do this on the upkeep to get rid of the War Chief? I think that we can wait a little bit. Well, they don't get Krenko. But this means they get to swing both Wily Goblins in at Teferi here. Which means if we want to have a Karn Temporal Sundering available, we have to not block. Oh, they didn't attack in? What? Oh, that's huge. That's huge indeed. All right, draw, discard. Hitting lands is good. Cameo is good. Actually, Cure might be nice for us to have some extra... Or Cure might be good for some extra ramp. We do want to be able to cast multiple things here. Do I drop the Time Stream Navigator? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So exactly 7. Let's go Time Stream Navigator. We can grab it back if we need to. Let's cast the 7 mana version this time. If we find an extra land, we can play Kiora, untap a land, and I think we have enough for Orange Epiphany. No attacks. Draw a card.
Time to improvise.
Extra land. I guess we do want more force for Nissa, just in case. We have enough blue sources now. We didn't find a Haze of Pollen. We didn't find like a Whelming Wave, anything like that yet. We can create more blockers. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3. That leaves up 5 mana. We get to untap and then do it again. Okay, yeah. So Kiora.
Let's dive right into battle. I love to make a splash.
Orange Epiphany. Does this give us enough mana if we find a land to Tameo? Swing in with the flyers. Okay, down to 18. Time Stream Navigator. All right, well, that's not the worst way to go either. Tameo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 4, 5 mana untapping this. Not quite enough to do anything really crazy.
Your talents cataloging.
Okay, bring something back to hand. All right, let's first things first. Let's take up on Tameo and grab either Whelming Wave or Nissa or Coma.
I know, I noted this.
Any of the extra turn spells aren't fast enough at this point, so let's go Coma. Just because I think it's the best play. Actually, wait. We can actually play Nissa if we find it. So Nissa. Bummer. Okay, Time Stream Navigator. Drawing with Teferi means we just lose whatever we draw here, but I do want to keep ticking him up anyway.
Ideas, like seconds, are fleeting.
And we don't attack him with the birds, I don't think. Pass the turn. Alright, so we have Time Stream Navigator on the next turn. We can tick up with Teferi again, or -3 here if we want to. Alright, so they can sacrifice one. If I -3 onto the War Chief, even if they find the Muxus, they can't bring out Muxus. This also means that Krenko guys don't have haste. Because they would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this would be the 6th. They might still have land in hand with Muxus. So let's see if they still have it. Skirk Prospector. Okay, well, that'll do it. Oh, wait, they had to play it out. Right. All right, then we get to have some fun.
I do love a good puzzle.
Whelming Wave's pretty good stuff. Okay, we get an extra turn. We get to attack in with all these guys. We get to Whelming Wave. Yes! Yes! Oh, this is so good. We get to return something back to hand. Let's go with, yeah, okay, an extra turn spell again. So we at least got 2 more extra turn spells there. We got the Fibletip that could draw us more cards. We had more lands. Oh, yes. Dude, this deck is super fun. Well, we did beat goblins in one of the games, so that was so much fun. All right, we went 4-1 with Simic turns, putting us at 80% win rate with it, and on the draw every single time because you know that's how my luck goes. Actually, I've had quite a few times where I've had more on the play lately. Anyway, so good stuff. Yeah, this deck is it's actually really powerful apparently. 62 card decks always just work for me. I don't know why, but every time I don't stick to the 60 card thing, I think without fail, I've had like a really good run of things with the deck. So maybe that's the secret right there. Overall, I think this deck has a lot of good pieces. It definitely has downsides to it of just like drawing all the big expensive stuff, but extra turns are really powerful. And if you get an extra turn with some of these planeswalkers out in the battlefield, it's just like, it's hard to not pull things together and win games. Whelming Waves are sometimes hard to hit. Maybe going up to 4 copies here. Maybe you go up to 64 cards and add 1 more Whelming Wave and 1 more land. And that might actually be a pretty good little mesh there for the deck. I don't know. But then it's also hard to hit Whelming Waves because anyway. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.